What is going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Final Fantasy. We are ready to get going on with Echoes of the Fallen. I got my coffee, so you know I'm locked in and ready to go. There's a very cool intro scene we got last time. Let's see where this new Mother Crystal potentially is coming from.
Excuse me. Who were those men just now?
Bloody troublemakers, that's who. As soon as I asked them to present their packs for inspection, they turned white as a sheet and legged it. I chased them all away from the gates, but they're swift as hares. Still, at least we kept the bastards out. Don't need their kind stirring up any more strife.
And what manner of strife have they been stirring up, exactly?
Hey? Are you joking? This business with the crystals?
Sorry, we've been away for a while. What's been going on?
Alright, I'll humor you. After the paltry rations the Imperials left behind dried up, folks started trading crystals out in the open. We turned a blind eye at first. Lord Byron's orders. Way he saw it, it weren't right to deny people the one thing they were all clamoring for. Till the dust started turning up, that is. Dusk crystals, they're called. Ill-favored shards that crack as soon as you look at them. Not that the folk who bought them by the bucket load knew that. And they were baying for blood when they found out. In the end, his lordship had to step in and ban the blasted things. And we've been searching the pack of every trader who's darkened our gates ever since.
I see. And you think the men you were pursuing might have been trading in these dusk crystals?
Why? You in the market for some? Anyway, I wouldn't rule it out. In fact, I put a few gil on it.
We might still be able to catch them.
We might.
And Joshua's new voice is throwing me off.
You want to keep your sword, Andy. There's more than dodgy traders plying the roads these days.
Understood. We'll be careful.
Yeah, just by the look of this place, it looks like it would have a lot of Akashic. Already see the flood over there to the right.
If those men were selling dusk crystals, I think it unlikely that they will risk returning to Port Isolde.
Which means this might be our only chance of catching them.
Yeah, I wonder how they even know. That was definitely a fallen ruin that they were inside. And whatever they were messing around with activated something.
Company.
I've dealt with enough fallen to recognize the sound they make when they spawn in. Akashic everywhere outside these city gates. You think that sellsword would have just stayed inside. If somebody wants to run back out into the Akashic, you'd think he would just let him.
Where
I suppose the name of the expansion itself is telling us what it's going to be about.
They were making a good pace.
Safe bet that Echoes of the Fallen is about Fallen, huh? Use some of these death blossoms to warm up our mechanics. I did take a little break before recording this one. I had to get some workout done. Currently rehabbing a little bit of a back injury, so that's why I haven't been recording as much. Been in a chair all day, so they're definitely no good for me. So, but we're pressing on now. It's manageable. We're definitely gonna be back to business as usual. But I took a couple days break over Christmas. Nursing my injury a little.
Still no sign of those traders, though.
No. I just hope we haven't lost them.
These blimmin' tremors are scaring off all our customers.
Prime candidates to
A
ask.
few that weren't scared off by the skies, you mean?
Perhaps one of those merchants has seen something.
Didn't really get a good look at the people mining, so
But did you happen to see 3 men in robes pass this way?
I don't think I'd be able to
Yeah, I
recognize
seen
them.
them. Poor bastards.
What do you mean?
A gang of nasty-looking brutes was on their trail.
Caught up with them just up the road. Screaming at them they were. Your crystals are your lives and all that. Only the daft buggers kept their crystals and legged it.
In which direction, out of interest?
Up that way.
Now, why are they so invested in keeping the crystals? Surely some dusk crystals with one activation of use isn't going to be worth their
Towards the
lives.
Old Hill docks. If it's help they seek there, they won't find any. But perhaps they might find a place to hide.
Let's hope so. And that we can find them before their pursuers do. Thank you. And please, take care on the road. Come on. They're no good to us dead.
Lead the way, brother.
We honestly might not have a choice about that, Clive. Game is so pretty, man. Every time I get to look out and see that, I find myself absorbed in it for a second.
So the bandits haven't found them either. There's still time.
Where would I hide if I was a trader hiding from things?
So, Lord Rosfield sent his sellswords, did he?
You're actually talking to Lord Rosfield. And I expect common folk like you to know the difference.
It's a war with brigands, brother.
You're right. Let's focus on finding the traders.
We may not have come here for brigands, but I do like slaughtering them very much. The boy Toggle. He likes it too. Who knows, if we take care of all the brigands, they won't need to hide and maybe they'll come out feeling grateful.
Hand over those crystals!
That'll be the day. That'll be a life. Any kind of bandit slaughter that we can take care of whenever we can take care of it means less tragedy for the innocent people of Alstia, which is technically is our job, Joshi. Lest you forgot the purpose of all this.
Boy, we got company.
Just stick 'em! Stick 'em all!
Well, I think that's the majority of the bandits cooked. I'm sure they'll come out of the woodwork here in a second.
Don't think I can go on. Chief, maybe I'll reach. This should be far enough. Chief, they've found us.
Do we look like bandits?
It's getting so a man can't even catch his fucking breath.
Jill looks way too high class to be a bandit, let's be honest.
Gentlemen,
Maybe me and Joshua do a
a
little.
word. We understand you've been selling some crystals.
And like I told your thieving mates, you're not fucking getting them. So you can take your massive sword and shove it.
Sound like you're from the same place
Sure I
Gav is.
could, but we're not thieves.
Over here. I can smell the one who shat himself.
If you've got a plan, Chief, tell us you've got a plan.
Of course I've got a bloody plan. Good things and all that. Let's start again, shall we? You say you're interested in the crystal trade?
Not exactly. In actual fact, we were hoping to talk about this.
Is that all? Well, then I know just how to help. If you're after the short shifter, he's over here!
Are you mad?
And then they're gonna try and run away, huh?
Slippery little pricks. Clinkers on the ground, quick as you like.
Gentlemen, you've got it all wrong. Do we look like merchants? He's the one you want.
Do we look like
Just look
merchants?
at what he's got in his hand.
What? Him?
Wait, I'm not.
Do let us know if you need any more help.
Oh, we're gonna have a conversation
They
about
won't get
that.
far, Clive.
No. But they'll wish they had.
As for these guys, I already told you I'm happy to clean up the land.
I'll carve you like a suckling pig and feed you to your fucking dog!
Mage first, of course. Where is he? Maybe no more healing for you. In Joshua's progression is still very cool, from that little sickly boy that could barely cast a flame to now he's Phoenix shifting across the whole battlefield. That's a cool thing that hasn't been talked about much, but he is vastly stronger. I'm surprised Clive never mentioned it when he saw him again. He is very, very strong compared to the opening of Phoenix Gate.
Did you see which way they went?
North. Making for 3 reads at a guess.
Yeah, we're gonna have less nice words now that you just did that.
After them. If they reach the swamps, we'll never pick up their trail.
Whatever they're peddling, they're gonna owe us a discount on by the
There was
time we
something
finally
odd about
catch up to
those
them.
3. They seemed less like merchants and more like...
Charlatans? One might argue that a merchant is naught but a mummer without his motley.
Then why am I not amused?
They sound like they have a similar accent to Gav, like they're from the same place. At least the main guy. Now they have put this big bull directly in our path. And I think it would be rude not to oblige. Where did you go, you little shits?
What did he find, boy?
Clive, judging by the state of the ground, a lot more passed this way than our 3 charlatans.
Another group of bandits.
Or a Kashik.
I doubt they'd leave this crystal behind. Regardless, we're on the right track. Let's pick up the pace.
If it is a Kashik, they're gonna have to come up with a nice bargain to get me to help them. That's not gonna come free anymore.
They wouldn't risk stopping at Martha's Rest, would they?
Not if they hope to pass unnoticed.
Then we'd better stick to the swamps.
No doubt they're on this little slip. There they are.
All right, lads. I think we finally lost them.
Not so lucky.
Think again.
Fuck. Persistent bastards, I'll give them that. Friends, I knew those louts were no match for you.
But of course you did. Because you know what we're capable of, don't you? Now, you deal in crystal. Dusk crystal. And we want to know where you got it. So you're going to tell us.
Let's assume for a moment that we are the merchants you're looking for. Why would we tell you where we procure our stock? What kind of shepherd leads a wolf straight?
Are they getting worse?
Clive, the tower.
Well, that's new.
Is that the one by Eastpool?
That's impossible.
Yeah, Chief. Do you think someone else got into the tower?
Quiet, you daft sod!
And what would they find there if they did?
I wouldn't know. I've never been there.
Okay, cut the shit.
Echoes, maybe? Or fallen rubbish? I really couldn't say. The entrance is sealed tight. No way in.
And how would you know that if you've never been there?
Look! Behind you! An Akashic monster!
If you think I'm going to fall for another one of your cheap tricks...
Clive, trouble.
What? Oh.
Oh, this should be an interesting one. Of course, they just slink off in the background.
Don't you dare!
I don't think Martha would appreciate that thing on her doorstep.
Probably not. Let them run then. I have an idea where they'll be heading anyway.
Yeah, I think that tower is the one in the marshlands just before Eastpool.
This shouldn't take too long.
Come on, come here, you big fucker. Nice and easy. I don't know if my build could be potentially better, but I love the build that I ended up with here. I haven't looked anything up, so I don't know what's capable beyond this.
Well, that was ill-timed.
I like the one I
At least we
naturally
know what
fell
was
into.
chasing the merchants.
That's twice we've saved them now.
Yeah, this is by Eastpool, I believe.
I don't see anyone.
I've had enough of bandits and beasts, Chief. Can't we just go home?
And let those thieving pricks march in and take what's ours?
What's ours? Oh, no. You don't mean...
The dusk crystals, aye. Halleck, Marnik, we're going back to that tower if it's the last thing we do. But the lights, Chief. What about the lights?
You should listen to his underlings.
First you whine about it being too dark, then you whine about it being too light. Think about how easy it'll be to mine now.
What exactly does he provide those to? Because he doesn't swing the pickaxe, he doesn't carry the crystals. He just tells them to run. A shoddy leadership program.
And you're sure they're bound for the tower? When they aren't running away from trouble, they're running towards it.
Do you know anything of the place, Joshua?
Alas not. I have seen it labeled Sage Spire on some maps, but beyond that, the ruins are no different from any other fallen derelict. Another impenetrable relic of the past.
Not so impenetrable, apparently. Our friends plainly found a way in.
They could be living there, like we do in the Invincible.
Well, the tower is unquestionably large enough to hide 3 merchants. But is it large enough to hide what we seek?
A mother crystal.
It would go some way to explain why the area was among the first in Rosaria to fall to the Blight.
Then it's settled. We head to Eastpool and make our approach from the dim.
Well, we've been inside fallen structures before.
To think there could have been a mother crystal here in Rosaria all this time. The wars that could have been avoided.
We still don't know what's in there, Clive. But whatever it is, there is a good reason it has gone unnoticed for so long. The tower sits atop a jagged ridge. Few have ever had occasion to pick their way through the rocks, even before the Blight swallowed them.
Yeah, we've been inside fallen ruins before. We've experienced plenty of underground bunkers and things like that. Just because the tower looks like there isn't room for it doesn't mean there wouldn't be. It can get quite spacious inside fallen ruins. And it's probably a good thing that our father or anybody from Rosaria before him didn't find this crystal.
We had no idea what it meant.
I assume the fact that it's darker and breaks really easily does not mean good things.
Shouldn't we at least have warned them?
Again, wasn't Hippocrates talking about how... Sorry, I was reading the subtitles there. And Hippocrates say that these dusk crystals were man's creation when we built nukes, and that they eventually burnt out the sky and got a bunch of people killed. I'm sure history would have repeated itself if we had found this crystal, especially with the landscape. The world isn't exactly in a good place in this universe.
Are those goblins?
It sure looks like it.
What are they doing in the Deadlands?
Look what they're carrying. I don't recall ever hearing of goblins using fallen relics as weapons.
Well, they certainly aren't welcoming gifts.
Clive,
They are if we kill them and take them.
remember where we are.
No magic. Right.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
They're even uglier up close.
I'm very glad Joshua mentioned that actually, because I totally forgot there's no magic in the dim. Been a while since we just had to hack and slash.
Let's hope that was the last of them.
Indeed. I'd almost forgotten what it was like to have to rely on steel alone.
Clive? Joe? You may want to see this.
The amount of times I've said exactly what Clive was about to say.
What?
A good dialogue that it's commonly occurring. This is the door that I looked at that I couldn't get through and I was curious about. I remember looking at this. I thought this was going to unlock once I started getting different icons.
It was open when I found it.
Someone was in a hurry. 3 guesses as to who.
Then this must be their way into the tower.
Little did I know that this was a DLC the whole time.
There's only one way to find out.
I was right about those slabs though. The slabs did end up being icon trials. I thought things like this were just going to be fallen dungeons peppered around the world that just showed up randomly later when you got the ability to open them. What do we have? The Sage Spire. In mountuous silence do wintered spectres watch from on high, ever reminding us how far we have climbed and how far we have fallen. I love how poetically things are written in this game. The real question is going to be, are we able to use magic in here?
It seems somebody's woken this place up. The question is, who?
Well, I can tell you who it wasn't.
Unauthorized biometrics detected.
Someone's here.
Initializing security scan. Safety protocols disengaged.
I don't think that was someone, Clive. I think it was the tower.
Either way, it doesn't sound like we're welcome. Keep your guard up.
All of this fallen stuff gives me such Mass Effect vibes in a very good way. It reminds me so hard of investigating fallen Prothean tech or Reaper tech.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
I think my powers have returned. You?
Yeah, they definitely returned.
The same. There's ether here. An abundance of it.
So the tower and all these automatons probably run off ether, right? The soundtrack is so pretty. Okay, we can't go down now. I always did really love the way that the tech looked when it activated. This doesn't even look like Valastia anymore from inside here. Hearthflame. Some opponents will cast the spell Hearthflame to summon a magicked sphere that protects a nearby ally by dealing damage to any who come in contact with it. Enemies accompanied by a Hearthflame can be identified by the Styx icon above their heads. The sphere can be dispelled by attacking it, but be warned, melee strikes to the sphere will deal Clive damage. The ranged spells are recommended.
More goblins. So now we know where they got their weapons.
Well, how about we just do this? Consider range, right?
But how long have they been hiding here?
Gonna get him gone too, so he doesn't cast it on any more of his friends. Okay, so that only takes 2 charged blasts to deal with.
Nice try. I'm gonna have fun with this. The fallen stuff has been like one of my favorite aspects of the game, so diving into some lore for this is very much up my alley.
Dusk crystals everywhere.
Well, that's one mystery solved.
But there's no mother crystal.
Yet. We still have plenty of tower to explore.
That's very true. These things get expansive.
I know that voice. Come on.
And I don't think whatever they ran into cares that they say they come in peace.
Well, look who it is.
We still crystal merchants. I totally messed with these guys.
Warning. Warning. Core defense systems engaged. Initiating sterilization lockdown.
What the hell is it talking about, Joshua?
That looks like a mother crystal.
Good things, lads. Good things.
That's on his feet, isn't he?
Chief!
Would you like to step back?
Hey! Over here. Take
Take your friend and get out of this place. Now!
This should be an interesting fight.
And while they run away, we do the fighting.
No change there.
I think you've made it angry. A fireball to the side of the head will do that.
Oh, you have a resilient staggerbot, don't you?
Nice try.
No. Okay, he caught me in a little bit of a rotation there.
Nice try.
Oh, I didn't put the thing close enough, huh? Okay. Let's really stick it up his ass this time.
well.
That was a cool fight. That is a good sign of things to come. I wonder if our merchant friend over there is... Okay, I think that is already a buff on got a Damarung, right? Wasn't that 375? This is 390, so we're already better. I already out-leveled the legendary sword I spent 30 hours to get. Oof.
Security Sentinel 503 offline. Initiating emergency core relocation protocol.
If I didn't know better, I'd say that was the heart of a mother crystal.
I knew that fallen thing was no match for you. Allow me to apologize for earlier. That was, ill-played. All born of a misunderstanding, though. Can we start again?
I'm sure you want to now.
We don't need your apologies. We need answers. And you're going to give them to us.
I suppose you'll be wanting to know about the tower, then? As you've probably guessed, this isn't the first time we've been here. Fact is, my people have been coming to this place for centuries.
Have they now? To these ruins in particular?
Aye, well, they, talked to us, told us what this lot was all for.
And what is it for?
Well, believe it or not, the Fallen were actually using this place to make their own, mother crystal. Though, despite years of searching, all we ever found was shards.
Then, Harpocrates was right. It would seem that the Fallen did indeed acquire the god's ability to craft crystals.
I wouldn't go that far. The shards aren't exactly divine. They're not even what you'd call decent. But they're better than nothing, and nothing is what our people had before we found them. So we've been coming here ever since.
But these dust crystals have only recently appeared on the black market. What made you decide to start selling them?
The skies. Once they went dark, the crystals started growing back, till there were more than you could count. And with the mothers all cracked, anyone with anything that could muster so much as a spark had people queuing up to take their coin.
Yes. At a cost to us all. Quality apart, these crystals are no different from the ones the world has been using since the dawn of time. And it cannot continue.
No, it cannot. While this is clearly none of Ultima's doing, there can be little doubt but that it serves his cause.
A mother crystal is a mother
Then our
crystal, and
path
we vowed
is
to get rid
clear.
of all of them, so...
So let's do what must be done.
Wait, you lot aren't thinking what I think you're thinking, are you?
Oh, I think there's a good chance we are.
But, what about the tower's defenses?
We look like
That
we're
thing you
afraid of
just
the tower
fought, It
defenses.
won't be the last one. And the further you climb, the worse they'll get. How about we head back to Martha's before someone gets hurt, eh?
That is sound advice, which I suggest you take before someone gets hurt.
You could always stick around and sell potions to me. I'd take your stock if you have any.
Are you sure you don't want to think this over? We could talk about it outside, where it's safe.
Whatever. I understand you want your crystal trade,
think
but
the
this is
Fallen
literally
built all
destroying the
this?
world.
The knowledge they must have needed.
Knowledge now lost.
lost for, I think, some good, right? At least to a degree. I don't know, what do you guys think? If you could take away the knowledge of building nuclear warheads, for example, if you could take that from humanity, would you do it? Or do you think the other advances we've made with like nuclear energy plants and things like that, do you deem that to make it all worth it, or would you still take it? I get curious about things like that. Or for example, firearms.
Like
if you could
other
take
fallen ruin,
the ability of guns away
then
from
there'll be
humanity,
a
would you
lift.
do it? Or do you think the understanding of gunpowder and combustion and all that stuff has served enough good that it is worth keeping? As for me, I think the gunpowder aspect of it I would keep. I think that has all served a good purpose. I don't actually quite like firearms actually, but all that aside, I think nuclear warheads certainly, there's a whole lot of apocalyptic opportunity there
onward and upward.
that you trust in people who can also have very bad days and lapses of judgment. So people in this not having a nuclear warhead like the Fallen were, and keep in mind that the Fallen warded themselves into extinction with all this stuff, so that tells its own tale in isolation. Looks like we're going left.
Any idea what those are?
They seem to be containers of some sort. Or perhaps...
Cages. Like some sort of twisted menagerie.
Well, we know what this
But
is.
why here?
That is a chocobo. This looks like a goblin. This one I have no idea what that is. It's a minotaur. Big enough to be a behemoth. Have we even seen that enemy before? Have we fought minotaurs? I don't recall. They just running experiments on life forms.
How many of these things are there?
Contaminant detected. Releasing subjects Alpha to Epsilon.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out what they did to them.
still alive. But this tower is more than 15 centuries old.
Wrong subclass. That is the negative of not having Phoenix shift anymore. Things are hopping up in the sky like that.
Crystals. Why imprison creatures here?
You remember when I said it's giving me Prothean and Reaper kind of energy? Well, all this is not making that any less. Unless this was supposed to be some kind of arc. if the ether flood took the world or
device.
whatever they were bombing themselves
It
into.
glows just like the doors.
Whoa. I have two things to do. Let's just guess that this one isn't gonna lock us up from anything.
Development log entry 680925. Mitogenic reactor trial successful. 23 units of grade 3C crystal produced. Moving forward, all seeds fabricated from inorganic material are to be replaced with lab-grown organic specimens.
Organic specimens. So they were turning living creatures into crystals.
And they also said lab grown, which means they didn't take them from the wild, they grew these here. So what are they using the life force of the animals that they turn to generate the power of the crystal, not ether? That's why they have such a shitty small use. The bigger the creature, the better the crystal, I would assume. I accidentally deactivated my thing right there. Now what yelled a no? Is that Clive when I hit my limit break? What was that?
Some of the creatures in these cages have been seeing Valisphere for 1,000 years.
Well, here's to 1,000 more.
Get rid of his little ball thing right now. He's the one that casts it. Both of these mages off their feet for a second. Basically have their own version of all of the wicks that I'm using. Build up some Zan while we're here. Nourishment bit. Alright, let's take a look at some of the stuff we've been getting. It's like the second amulet I think that we've gotten in this expansion. I haven't taken a look at those yet, so Escapement. Once willed from slumber, the spherical construct of fallen provenance will flit and flutter about its new master like a dutiful yet unseen hummingbird, sweeping in to provide aid should the need arise. Reduces ability cooldown time and restores a small amount of the HP regain gauge following a precision dodge. Effect potency is directly affected by the strength of the attack dodged. Every time I get a precision dodge, it restores HP and cooldowns for my abilities. Uses HP regain potential when taking damage while automatically restoring HP regain. Well, the escapement bit sounds phenomenal, actually. Let's try that. That actually sounds really good. Now, we did drop the 500 health, so instead of 3,500, we're at 3,000, but I don't think we're getting hit that much, honestly. Every time I get my precision dodge, it's going to boost my cooldowns. It just seems better overall. Now, how long have we been going? We have been recording for around 56 minutes, so that is probably a pretty good place to wrap this up, split it into 2 episodes. I'll do these a little longer, so it kind of keeps all concise and in order. So that is going to be a wrap for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is, as always, a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Final Fantasy. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.